I believe that the Arab Revolt is the most important event that has happened in the Middle East in the 20th century. Its implications are still felt today, both in the region and around the world. In this video, I will discuss why I believe this is the case. If you are interested in learning more about the reasons for the revolt or the battles that took place, I have published other videos on my channel on these subjects. The Arab Revolt is one of the most important events in recent Middle Eastern history for the following reasons. During World War I, the Middle East witnessed an uprising that effectively immobilized Ottoman forces, preventing their deployment to other battlefronts. This strategic development came at a crucial juncture for the Allies, who had recently suffered two significant defeats at the hands of the Ottomans in the Siege of Kut and the Battle of Gallipoli in 1915. Initially, the Arab, Kurdish, and Turkish ethnicities joined forces in a united front against the Allies. However, as the revolt unfolded, a pervasive atmosphere of mistrust began to permeate the alliance, and the supply lines of the Ottoman army found themselves perilously threatened. The Arab Revolt caused a lot of casualties, with some estimates suggest that tens of thousands perished on both sides. The Ottoman forces bore the brunt of these casualties, with estimates ranging from 25,000 to 100,000 deaths. The Arab forces also suffered substantial losses, with estimates ranging from 10,000 to 50,000 fatalities. These are big numbers for World War I. Furthermore, the Arab Revolt left an indelible mark on the war, both militarily and psychologically. It starkly demonstrated that the seemingly impregnable Ottoman Empire was vulnerable, offering inspiration to nationalist movements in the Middle East. This factor played a pivotal role in eroding the morale of the Ottoman Empire and its allies, ultimately contributing to the triumphant outcome of the Allied powers. During the Arab Revolt, the British made a promise to help establish a new independent Arab country in the Middle East after the war. Unfortunately, they didn't follow through on this commitment. Instead, the British and French divided the Arab world into regions they could govern, without considering the various groups of people and their religions in the region. The Arab Revolt faced several challenges, including heavy British and French influence, an abundance of spies, and a lack of unity among the Arab fighters. These factors made it almost impossible to stand against the Allied powers, and their plans to divide the region between the English and the French, even though the majority of Arabs at that time desired a single unified country. And thus the Allied powers was able to divide and create new countries in the Middle East. The Arab Revolt of 1916 emerged as a direct challenge to the authority of the Caliph, leading to a marked decline in the power and prestige of the Caliphate. This significant upheaval culminated in the eventual deposition of the Caliph in 1924, along with the formal abolition of the Caliphate by the Turkish government under the leadership of Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. The Caliphate was seen as a symbol of Muslim unity, and its collapse was a major blow to the Islamic world. It led to a decline in Muslim unity and a rise in sectarianism. The Arab Revolt was a nationalist uprising that tapped into the broader wave of nationalism that was sweeping through the region. It inspired Arab nationalists and fueled their aspirations for self-determination and independence, weakening the Ottoman Empire's authority over its Arab provinces. As the revolt spread and the Ottomans struggled to suppress it, they lost control of key territories in the Arabian Peninsula, including Mecca and Medina. This loss of territory and resources further strained the empire and made it nearly impossible for the heirs of the empire to reclaim the lost territories after the war. The Arab Revolt had a profound impact on the Kurdish revolt, as it prompted the withdrawal of Ottoman forces from Kurdistan, contributed to the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, and inspired Kurdish aspirations for independence. The revolt led to the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, which had ruled the region for centuries. This left a power vacuum that was quickly filled by competing Arab factions and not the ideas of the revolution. These factions were often divided by tribal, religious, and political differences, and they were unable to agree on a unified vision for the future of the region. This led to a great deal of instability and conflict, which continues to plague the Middle East to this day. I do not believe that the Arab Revolt was wrong. It had its reasons, and it achieved some of its goals. However, I believe that it was poorly executed, and its failures were significant. Additionally, I believe that it ultimately benefited the Allied powers more than the Arabs. Tell me what do you think in the comments section below.